Hello. Today we are going to make a Jordanian dish called Mjadara. For this recipe we need lentils like this, 1 cup of lentils, 1 cup of burgol. If you don't want to use the burgol, you can use the quinoa instead, and it works well with this recipe. We need 1 big onion, and we need cumin, salt, pepper, and olive oil. First we have to make sure that the lentils is clean from stones, doesn't have any stones. Then we have to soak the lentils for at least 2 hours before cooking with water only, just water. Here, as you see, I covered the lentils with water, and I will leave it for 2 hours to cook it. Then next step, I'm going to cut the onions into juliennes, and after I finish cutting it, I will show you how it will be. Now look how is the onions now, very fine pieces, very thin. And here I use this tool to cut the onions, this tool. You can cut it by using a knife, but I use this. Now here in this pan I will put some olive oil, like quarter of a cup of olive oil. After this pan gets somehow hot, so I will put the oil and put the onions on it. Now I cover the bottom of the pan with the olive oil, and here, as you see, just like about quarter of a cup. Now here I will put the onions. Now here I will put the onions in the pan and sprinkle some salt on it. Now look here, I put the onions in the pan, and I stir it from time to time, sprinkle some salt on it, and I will leave it on high heat for 5 minutes until it becomes like soft. Then I will turn down the heat between the medium and the low, in the middle between the medium and the low, and leave it until it becomes dark brown. Be careful not to burn it, not to burn the onion. We want it dark brown onion. Flip it from time to time by using this spatula, like this, or any other spatula you want. So from time to time you have to flip it. That's it. Look at the onions now. In this stage, it becomes soft and it begins to release its water. So in this stage we turn down the heat, like this. And leave it take its time to become dark brown. And remember to flip it from time to time. Don't forget it. Here the onions begin to take its color, turn color to brown, like you see here. And from time to time you have to flip it and distribute it. Don't let it like a pile, no. You have to distribute all the onions in the bottom of the pan. Here's the onion. See? So from time to time you have to flip it, as I said before, and spread it all over the bottom of the pan. Don't let it inside. No, you have to spread it all over the pan like this. The secret in the cooking of the onions for this recipe. Now look at the color of the onions. It begins to turn brown. Now in this stage the onions is caramelized. Look at sticky. We don't want it in this case. We want to wait until it turns to dark brown. So we have to wait. We have to be patient. It takes time. Now the onion takes its dark brown color. Look how beautiful is it. This is the final stage, and this, when it becomes like this, I turn off the heat. I toast the lentils with the onions in this pan here, and then I will put the spices. Some black pepper. When you see the lentils become softened, you put the coarse burgul over it after like washing it. Cover it with water. Cover all the ingredients in with water, like boiling water. That's better. Now this is our dish. Finally, you can see how delicious it is, how beautiful. You can eat it with green salad, like this: cucumbers, tomatoes, parsley, onions. You can have it with some pickles, some olive oil, some olives, yogurt. You can eat it with yogurt also. This is our mjadara with quinoa instead of the burgul. If you want to make it with the quinoa, you can. It gives the same taste, and people who can't eat wheat or gluten, they can make it with quinoa.